You know, this is a lovely street. I really love walking down this tree-lined street, and it's full of gracious buildings that were built in the 19th century. But you know, 30 years ago, this street was almost destroyed. That was during the 1970s, and your grandparents can tell you what life was like during that time. Now, we all know that over the years, Australian cities have really changed, but fortunately, a lot of these gracious old buildings full of heritage and charm still remain. And you know what? A lot of them have got fascinating stories to tell. But you know, they only exist now because a few people stood up to what they regarded as undesirable change and in fact stopped it. This was the start of the Green Bans movement, when builders, labourers and other unions refused to allow demolition to go ahead on heritage sites where there was a strong community opposition to development. It created some strange scenes at the time. Ladies who lunch mixing with rugged builders, labourers. Now take this building for instance, number 202. It's got a real story to tell. Now, a lady called Juanita Nielsen lived here, and she was opposed to development in this area because a lot of lower income people lived here because it was close to their work. Now, she felt that if buildings like this were pulled down and replaced by apartment blocks, these people would be forced out. The whole culture of this street would in fact be changed. Now, Nielsen was a wealthy woman and due to inherit the large Mark Foy shopping empire, but she was a bit of a radical and lived in a socially mixed part of the city and produced a local newspaper and ran articles that were very critical of the developers, and things got pretty rugged at times. You see, a large developer wanted to knock down the homes in Victoria Street and build some large commercial towers. Now, locals like Juanita Nielsen opposed this. They encouraged people to squat in the homes so the developers could not damage them. The developers hired thugs to evict the squatters and to intimidate people into leaving. Juanita published news about this and wrote articles exposing their tactics. The Builders Labourers Union became involved, imposing green bans that meant that the new development could not be built. Now, King's Cross is a vibrant place today, but back then it was notorious. Especially that place, the Empire Hotel. That was the Carousel Club, and that's the last place that Juanita Nielsen was seen alive. I reckon that's a great place to start our journey of discovery, don't you? Now, it seems pretty certain that Juanita Nielsen was killed, but did she win her fight? If you look very carefully at her building, at her house, you can see that the development has stopped slap bang up against her side wall. But you know, I can see other changes in this streetscape. Juanita Nielsen fought to protect inner city housing, but the houses are still here, but the people she sought to protect are gone, and they've been now replaced by backpacker hostels. I wonder what she would have thought of that. So that's our history mystery. Who killed Juanita Nielsen, the lady who lived in this house?